Hi everyone, we are back for episode 2. I'm Ruben, this is Mick, and we are your hosts for Photomode Unplugged. Is it better? Is it getting better?
I'm not sure if it was better or not, but it was the second one. We've got to.
So, Mick.
Yeah.
We are back. We are doing this again.
The first one went well enough that we decided we'd have another go.
Would we give up if it did well enough?
No. Well, certainly not after one. No.
Okay.
If we were going to give up after one,
then
then I think we were never that committed in the first place. So.
And we are very committed. Like, how... I never ask you this. How is your family reacting to your evenings on this day being like, it's over. From now on to the rest of my life, I will have to record this.
Yeah, I hadn't I hadn't put the full life schedule in yet. Well, the kids are in bed anyway, so they don't know the difference. They just like when I was making the stuff for it, Lydia, my daughter, she's 10, and she started off really liking the theme tune, and then she's like, "Oh, I'm sick of hearing that now." I was like, "We've not even done the first one yet. I'm just still making it." But and all is well. I mean, I sort of imagine that it wouldn't take that much of our evening. The more we do, the less time it will take out of our day. Yeah. So we'll be quicker at it. So. We'll come on, we'll just get it recorded and then go away again and still have some time left. But probably Sam will be in bed as well after this. How about you?
I normally I stream on Mondays.
Yeah.
And on Thursdays. And Tuesdays, which is the day that we record this, I usually had playtime. So now I gave up my playtime to record this.
Well,
I already wasn't spending time with the family, so I should be fine.
That's just a personal sacrifice. Have children, and then that playtime goes away entirely.
No, not on the cards anytime soon. I like my playtime.
Yeah, I usually by the time I get to play something, you end up that you're just too tired, and that's why I get very little progress.
Yeah, my brother used to play more than me, and now he rarely plays because he has 3 kids.
Yeah, it happens. 3 is too many. 2 is too many.
So, are you glad with the reception? I'm really glad with the reception.
Yeah, definitely. I don't know what I was expecting, to be honest.
We never talked about like how many views, how many subscribers, how many comments. Like we just threw ourselves out there.
I'm not really up to speed as well with what is a sort of good amount of views on YouTube. Yeah. I don't know what to aim for. But I mean, the last I saw, we'd had whatever it was, 150 or so views.
56.
I think we've got.
Now I have the video open.
Good. How many subscribers?
30. That I can see. 32.
32, including us two, so 30. So thank you to 30 of you who have chosen to subscribe and are now watching the second video because of that. So
but if we translate 150 to 30 subscribers, it's a very low number. So if you are one of the people watching this, please subscribe, ring a bell, drop a comment, do all the things. Audience engagement. At the 5-minute mark, I'm getting better at this.
It can happen at any time. It should, in fact, it should always happen at a different time, so that you don't know when to skip it. It's like the adverts coming in. Oh, I'll fast forward the adverts. You can't. You might miss something.
We should do things like the Truman Show, like really into the conversation. Like, have you tried the new controller from PlayStation? And have it like appear.
It's years since I've seen the Truman Show. Actually, it's really good.
I try to watch it like very often, like maybe once a year. I go back and watch it. Yeah, it's one of my favorite movies.
Yeah,
But this isn't a podcast about movies
sorry,
and the Truman
we're
Show.
getting off. So anyway, as for the reception, everyone was very positive. It was nice to see the enthusiasm. Actually, that was one thing that struck me both on the tweets and on the response to the video was some enthusiasm, and people were happy for you to swear.
But I don't think I will.
Well, there was two options, wasn't there? One, that you can swear and fund a swear jar, which will fund the channel. And the more we can make Ruben swear, the better the channel will be.
I didn't agree with those terms.
No. And the other one was that you may swear, but only in Portuguese.
That one, I can do it anyway, and no one would know.
Apart from everyone who speaks Portuguese, which is
we have
at least two
one
countries
Portuguese viewer
that you know of,
right? Yeah, that I know of, that actually comments on our videos.
Yeah, but this week it's going to go big
singular.
in Brazil.
Oh, that's like if this video gets to Brazilian Reddit or TikTok or anywhere, it will blow up.
Yeah.
Yeah, Brazilian anything will it goes viral. It's incredible.
Good. Well, I look forward to it. I won't understand any of it, unfortunately, so you'll have to translate it.
A while back, there was this whole thing about a virtual photographer that was doing kind of like a GoFundMe to get a PS5 in Brazil. And people started to like one big Brazilian streamer did a full 1 hour stream mocking him, making fun of him. And in less than, I think, 2 weeks or something, he got the PS5 because people started to support him.
So, yeah, any publicity is good publicity type approach there, yeah. So was he mocking because it was using virtual photography to do that, or just the fact that he wanted it was? Right?
Yeah. It was like a combination of both, like VPs, and he says that his dream is to work as a professional screenshot artist.
Yeah,
and he was mocking like that's not a profession. The usual stuff.
I mean, so again, it's not today's topic. So
yeah,
but as a teaser for a future episode, a future as yet undated episode, is the sort of history of game capture, really, because it's now a popular pastime, but it has always been a kind of a fundamental part of the industry. You go back to even just the cover art on the back of the box, the game in a magazine.
That. Yeah,
someone has to capture those images, and it all right. It used to be just kind of the game in action, and essentially what you would now just call a screenshot. But it was vital, and it still is vital marketing tool. So anyone who doesn't know about that, I think, hasn't fully.
I think that anyone that is listening to the Photomode Unplugged knows a bit of that about the work that goes into VP.
I'm sure our subscribers definitely know that. Yeah. But those other 120 viewers, they could be anyone. So that's just YouTube has recommended this video, and they're like, what is this? We will educate.
Oh, the thumbnail seems nice.
What's nice?
The thumbnail is nice. Let's click here. What is this?
Yeah. There you go. But, different people will have different interests. and I welcome them all.
Let's talk about something that might interest some people. Today's topic.
In a bad way. So we are going to talk about spoilers. In general.
Are we going to give anyone spoilers about anything?
No, obviously not. Because we don't do the spoilers. We're gonna talk about the spoilers and probably why you shouldn't do the spoilers.
We are going to talk about the topic of spoilers.
The topic of spoilers and not spoilers. So this video podcast contains no spoilers. Apart from
about anything.
Clues about future Photomode Unplugged podcast episodes.
I think that
there was a spoiler about a potential one of them.
It would be cool to have like someone in a year be like, "Oh, I'm listening to the whole playlist, and on episode 2 you talked about this topic, and now it's episode 50, and you're now talking about this." That would be a cool comment to get.
I hope we get that comment. So if you're watching, put it in your diary. Remind us if it gets to episode whatever you just said, then let us know. But yeah, so spoilers.
Let's hope.
Now the reason that it's kind of relevant, not just this week actually, it's been relevant in quite a while now. Games
Several launches.
And social media is really clashing when it comes to big releases. But obviously currently is God of War Ragnarok.
Never heard of
I
it.
actually haven't seen any of the spoilers, but that's largely because I don't spend that much time exposing myself to them.
You don't social media.
There's a bit of that. Yeah, there is a bit. I don't know where you have so much time to do it. But yeah, there was, even for A Plague Tale, I think Asobo put out a similar message, didn't they, saying,
"Yeah,
please be careful of spoilers. They are out there." So
it's becoming standard that studios put out notices before the release. Please don't spoil anything.
Yeah.
Which we commented on this before. People that are spoiling are reading that like people like studios asking me to not spoil. Nah, I will spoil. Yeah.
Exactly. They're gonna do it anyway because they're doing it kind of maliciously, I think. I don't know what the motivation is, apart from they just think, haha, this is funny. Which
I can tell you one of them. Like a few weeks ago, it was before the previews. Someone created an account called Xbox Shinobi and was going around and posting a specific spoiler of God of War Ragnarok, saying, "Oh, PlayStation ruined the launch of Halo Infinite, so I will spoil Sony's next big launch." And I'm like,
okay.
That's just stupid. Why are you being like?
I mean, that's the whole fanboy thing. It has never made much sense, does it? You know, like you get it on all of the.
He says wearing a The Last of Us.
You can be a fan. You can be a, but the fanboy.
Yeah.
You probably can't see that on the. There you go. This is my favorite hoodie, by the way. It's quite. I got this with the original launch as well. This is a PS3 era hoodie. I'm looking after it. Yeah.
Probably your oldest hoodie.
It definitely is. Do you know what? I got it for asking Neil Druckmann a question through the IGN interview that they had with him, and my question got read out, and this was the prize along with the little brick. I've got the little. I will feature that on the show one time. I've got the little foam brick.
Really, that's so cool. That's really cool. I know Gary, your Spoony Bard, has one poster from the first game that was like a celebration of it's a clicker. I think it's a clicker, and it's beautiful.
I can't remember that one. There was a newspaper print that you could get. I think.
I remember that one. Yeah.
Anyway, this is the reverse of spoilers. This is past. This is a long time ago.
Yeah.
You can't spoil the past.
But it's funny that we are talking about The Last of Us, because the other big game that from Sony that was leaked was The Last of Us Part 2.
Yeah.
And someone commented, like, the big spoiler of The Last of Us Part 2.
Yeah.
Someone commented with a picture on one of my God of War sets.
Oh, okay.
So that's
you saw it as a reply. Yeah.
Yeah.
So someone just commented on my God of War, the one saying I'd just reached the credits on Ragnarok, and they replied with something about what they think's going to happen in the game and things. So I just hid it, because clearly it's just there to incite. It's just there to wind people up and go, is that a thing or not? You know. So I think that hides it for everybody.
No, I can read it. So he hitting something on Twitter is really funny, because now I can go to your post, and the first thing that will show to me is there is Ethan comments in here, so I can click that and see. You
can see it, but it is hidden. That's what I mean. So it stops you just seeing it automatically. It's not just there.
Yeah, but there is a big thing saying there is hidden content in here. So
yes. So this brings us on then to how do you avoid spoilers? So
I usually don't do anything. I just hope for the best.
Yeah, but a lot of people want to try to actively avoid spoilers. So Santa Monica just advised themselves, saying mute the game title, mute the hashtag until after launch or until you're ready to see it all. So,
but
I think
it's not fail-proof.
No,
so
nothing is. The only thing that would be foolproof would be not going on the internet at all. So that's an option. You can you can do that. You can avoid social media. You can, mute people that you may think are likely to share stuff. I don't know. But muting the game.
Like most of the God of War community on Twitter, like the ones that interact with me often, they just went off social media. And the ones that are still on social media, what they do is that they post and they leave. Like, post one set, bye.
That's literally what I always do anyway. that is my activity. And it works. So the Last of Us spoiler that you were talking about, I actually had totally avoided it until I was playing the game. Now, this isn't no longer a spoiler, is it? If we
it's been out a while.
Anyway, so I was playing actually in the game, and so I'd seen nothing. I knew the spoilers right there. I knew how it had happened, that all of the video footage had been leaked and everything. But it's fine. I never saw it. So and I thought, I can't remember who the actor is that plays this character. So I put I literally on my phone, and I put in the name of the character, and the first suggestion was, and it's like, well,
that happened to me and Atreus. So I was about to finish the God of War 2018. Like, I got into Jotunheim, at the end of last level of the game, and I type in Atreus. I can't remember why. I think I was posting something. So back then I used to put quotes, game quotes with. So I typed in Atreus, and the autofill was okay.
Yeah.
That's on us.
That the trouble there is that's not even the finished search. That wasn't the results that spoiled it. That was the suggested search. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, come on. So clearly Google doesn't do anything to avoid spoilers. But anyway.
Yeah.
So that's spoilers in general. But why do we care? The question is, and we kind of touched on this last time as to whether this was a reason for the photo mode being delayed, because it might more likely encourage spoilers.
How lucky are we that the day after we record the episode, talking about why the photo mode wasn't there?
I would have liked to have been told that the day before. I knew they were announcing that, and I didn't know when, because they told me they were going to do that via that post, so I knew it was coming, but I didn't know when. And I still don't know when the photo mode's coming, so don't bother asking, because I don't know, and I can't tell you, and I wouldn't tell you.
Tell me.
No. But yeah, that was like, we'd recorded it, and then it was announced when there was a post-launch patch, and we'd already been speculating on that. So that's why I had to put in the little "has since been confirmed" text at the bottom. But that's fine. I like re-rendering the videos. It's fine.
Well, let's keep editing to a minimum. And
yes.
the first video we need to make a addendum.
And we'll be back soon. Technical error screen. That was new.
Let's hope today all goes smoothly.
So far, so good. But let's just keep that quiet. So, do photo modes themselves encourage spoilers? Do they encourage people to share spoilery material?
Yes, they do.
So. Yeah.
I played God of War 2018 knowing that Kratos would get the Blades of Chaos.
Okay, because you'd already see.
Because
But was that because of a photo mode shot as such, or would someone who wanted to just go, "Oh wow, the Blades of Chaos are in there," they can screenshot that with or without a photo mode?
Yeah, but I think. Okay, so one post, someone posting, "Oh, it's in there," after the game release can go viral, but usually they don't. The only types of posts that I see go viral is, "Can you pet an animal?" And that video usually goes viral.
There's a whole account just for that.
Yeah, there is a "Can you pet a dog?" and I love their take on God of War 2018, where they posted "You can't pet a dog" on God of War 2018, and it's Kratos ripping a wolverine in a half. Yeah, I love their take on that. But I think that one, I don't know how to travel this, but the second playable character of The Last of Us Part 2, it was like screenshot to that, even if you didn't know. Like I remember I asked for some vacation days back when The Last of Us Part 2 came out, and I was like, the night of the launch, I played for 8 hours. I went to sleep, and the next day I played like the entire day, and still someone shared like a screenshot of that, and I saw like from a photo mode perspective and not for a gameplay perspective, because usually those don't go noticed that much.
Yeah. Could it
when
be
it's
as well,
a character model, it's different, I guess.
Maybe. There's also maybe an element of that the algorithm is more likely to show you stuff from people who are doing photo mode things, so you're by definition more likely to see a photo mode shot than not. As in, because of the stuff that you follow and engage with.
Yeah,
So that might be part of it.
definitely.
But I think in terms of the ones who are maliciously trying to spoil games, like if they just get something early, like anything leaked or whatever, they just want to spoil it for people out of pure malice. They definitely don't care whether it's a Photomode shot or the world's crappiest.
Oh yeah. Now we both. It was a comment on one of your posts, right? That someone posted a video and you replied someone didn't read the embargo. So you saw that video.
I did see the video. I'd already played that point anyway, so it didn't affect me.
Okay. But the guy had it was like his face on the video while the leak was happening. So he clearly didn't care.
No, that's true. And I don't know why he did that. Because I don't think it was the person who shared the video who was on the. That wasn't the original streamer, was it?
It was probably a private stream that got leaked.
It maybe.
But even doing a private stream, you don't do a private stream with your face on it because.
Well, more to the point, if you did follow the embargo, it specifically tells you what you can and cannot show. So you were not allowed up until that preview date. In fact, still until the review dates go live, you are not allowed to show any video footage. You're not allowed to show any screenshots. So the previews could only use the stock assets. So every article about the game had exactly the same pictures because they're the ones provided for it. So that's part of the control mechanism. So the fact that anybody was even recording the game is already going against the embargo, regardless of how careless they were about where it got out.
But that's the thing. If they want to spoil something, they won't care. And that one got really, really viral. But I think that photo modes, like, you want to be the first one to get a really nice picture of the Blades of Chaos. You want to be the first one to take a really nice picture of that secret playable character.
Yeah, or
you want to be the
location.
Or a location. I remember everyone took the same shot of Freya's garden in 2018. Because getting there, it's like, oh, this is amazing. Yeah. It's so different from the rest. So
in that respect, you're probably right that element of virtual photography does encourage. So it's not encouraging story spoilers, but it's encouraging content spoilers, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So how do you feel about seeing a location or a piece of armor or even an NPC that you've not met yet? How do you feel about seeing that in someone's shots before you reach it?
I really don't like it. I saw back on Dead Stranding, I saw a few of the boss fights because I was making deliveries and someone was rushing through the story, so they showed like one boss fight close up, like everything, and I was really mad. At that point we didn't know that character was a boss fight.
Okay.
So I was really mad. And back then it wasn't even, like you said, a photo mode, but everyone was trying to take photos of the game, like as well composed as it could be.
So the conclusion there then is that it's not the photo mode that is the at fault for the spoilers. It's the social media.
yeah, definitely.
It's trying to be
it's the
first.
Social media, yeah. But the thing is, if you are like playing a game on launch and taking photos of that game on launch, you probably also were really paying attention to the marketing, or at least the first trailer, or at least the second trailer. You might not have seen all the previews of that game, but you saw what they use in the marketing. And I know it's not like the most, let's say, social media engaging content that you will show what people already saw, but stick to it. Don't show, like, I was really mad to not see some of Aloy's armor for the first time, like late game armor in Forbidden West, because one VP shared like a specific armor, and that post blew up. So it was, I had to see it. There was no way for me to not see it. If you are in the community, you will see someone commenting, and you see the picture above it. There is really nothing you can do. So as a community, maybe we could like stick to the beginning of the game. Like I did that for The Last of Us. I only shot the first town for, so until that big spoiler, I only shot that for about 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Posted that for about 2 weeks.
Yeah, you can shoot what you want, but it's what you share at the time, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's difficult, isn't it? Because everybody's judgment of when it's okay is going to be different as well. So if you think, well, I've just played the game at a normal pace, I've not rushed through it, and it's been 2 weeks or 3 weeks, and I've finished the game now, and then I give it another few days, so surely that's normal time for finishing the game. But other people will only be playing it once a week, so it might take them a few months to get to the same place. So how do you judge when is okay? Because by that, otherwise, you end up never sharing late content.
Okay. And that wouldn't be that bad. Because we had that conversation on Discord. Like we are trying to avoid spoilers for, like, in this conversation for The Last of Us, for Death Stranding. We are trying to avoid from games that came out like 2-3 years ago. And we are having this conversation trying to avoid that because we don't know if the viewers saw it or not. But if they follow me and they follow my work, they probably saw a lot of spoilers about a lot of games. But that's it. That's about it. Like, if you follow me, you will know that in about 2-3 weeks, I will start posting more content from that game. And if you are a VP, you have to deal with that. Unfortunately, you have to deal with that. And the other thing is, how many hours do you have on, I don't know, God of War 2018? Probably more than someone that only completed a game because you spend it on the photo mode. Like, what I'm trying to get is that virtual photographers take their time in the games. We are not the first to finish the game. We finish after everyone has finished the game.
Yeah, well, again, some do, but some might use a first playthrough or even a playthrough to get the full story completed without even touching the photo mode. I actually did that on Hellblade. I didn't want
but that's
to
a short game.
It is quite a short game.
That's a
but
really
that
short
made it easy
game.
to do that. Yeah, it's like, what, 8 hours or something?
6 hours.
You can do 6. Okay.
You can, if you're rushing it and not trying to do the puzzles.
I wasn't rushing it.
6.
It's just I wanted to do an uninterrupted playthrough. So some people will do that with Ragnarok, for example. So again, it's impossible to just do it.
Yeah, it's different. It's different. It's really different because I think, unfortunately, most VPs want to get that social media interaction, want to get that strike while the iron is hot.
Yeah, it's kind of
And
on the wave, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
And they will, like, the first playthrough will probably be the one that they take the photos on, and the second one is the one that they will play. Okay, so now I will play without the photo mode.
I don't know
I used
about
to do
that.
that. I did that with The Last of Us Part 2. The first one, I took shots of, like, every pixel.
Yeah.
And the second playthrough, I play it throughout without taking a single screenshot.
No, I mean, I don't think there's really any games that, other than Hellblade, that I do a full playthrough without touching the photo mode. But actually, I would use it more on the second playthrough.
Yep.
Because actually, the first playthrough is helping you get more of a broad context of what there is in the game and why everything is or isn't relevant. So you might see something early on that you don't know the relevance of, but then when you understand, say, the end of the game, you can actually go back to something earlier, and then you've got more significance to it, and you can create better shots then, because you can tease things. You can then tease things from the early game that isn't a spoiler, but it to those who know, it can be something more. Yeah.
Shinobi had this really cool quote that your best shots always come from your second playthrough and not the first.
Yeah, because you understand the game and the content more. I agree.
And you are more used to the mechanics of the photo mode
and the game.
So and the game, yeah. So now I know how to control the lights on Insomniac's games, like from Miles Morales on. Back when I started, I had no idea what I was doing.
Yeah.
Like, at all. But practice led me to understand how they work. I still don't use them to their full capabilities.
See, I was resisting my usual.
I know
you were waiting for it.
I saw your face, and I know I still.
No.
Yeah.
No,
I knew the
just a joke.
I knew the joke in my head.
Yeah, I just make those jokes regardless of. It doesn't. It wouldn't matter how good or bad you were with it. The joke is that it makes you think you're bad at it. Yeah, that's why I made those jokes. But I didn't.
And then I tried to be good at it, and I fail and get into therapy because of my depression, because you mocked me on a Photo Mode Unplugged episode. Thank you.
Oh well.
I will send you the bill.
No. This is the therapy.
But what do you think? When is okay to post spoilers?
Well, I mean,
as a photo mode, like, not to post spoilers, but as a photo mode, like in something photo mode related, a screenshot.
Yeah. So
when is it okay?
It kind of depends on the game to an extent, because you've got how long is that game, so you've got to judge, how long it might take people to get there. But even then, I tend to just avoid. I don't post anything that is a deliberate shot of a story spoiling moment, because it's usually not very clever to do that in the first place. The better shots are something that you've thought a little bit more about, and often they're in cutscenes anyway. So the majority of photo mods still don't, and I don't use anything that doesn't allow, original composition, because that's not my shot. So I would never post that, regardless of when it is. But in terms of just like late game content, or characters that you don't necessarily meet straight away, honestly, I'd probably a few weeks, 3 weeks or so. And because if it's not spoiling a story beat, I absolutely agree that the story experience should be as the developer intends it. But if it's just like, you're saying about the costume, a few weeks later, that wouldn't bother me if I did see one. So I probably wouldn't hold back that much.
But that's it. If it's a few weeks later, okay. If it's the day of the release of the game,
that means it has to be someone who's had it in a early release, and that you've got a responsibility there to try and think, right, okay, yeah, I've seen it 2 weeks ago, but you're now back at 0. So the safest thing to do with that is to start again and work your way through and only share shots from your current progress. So yeah, I'd base it on from release date, not from when you necessarily started playing a game. But then the other interesting one, so we had The Last of Us Part 1 just release. And there was some discussion about that. I won't be sharing. Some of the community accounts were saying they're not going to share posts from it because of spoilers. And I was like, well, it's a 9-year-old game. It's a 9-year-old story, sorry. So yeah, the visuals have changed. But would I worry about posting a spoiler about something near the end of a game that came out 9 years ago?
Is there anything that you can screenshot that is a big spoiler in The Last of Us Part 1? Like, not even the characters that you... So, imagine that you never played The Last of Us, okay? Yeah. You know nothing about it. Mm-hmm. And you see the face of Tess. That's the only thing you can do, other than cutscenes. But, like, in photo mode, you just take a photo of Tess, and that's it. You don't know what's happening to her. You don't know her backstory. It's just a lady in your screen. There is nothing that I can remember from The Last of Us Part 1. It's certainly not like you get the Blades of Chaos on God of War.
Yeah, they're really recognizable
because
things.
It's on their on the back of the characters. It's not like, oh, at some point Joel gets a flamethrower. It's yeah.
So I mean, it's where context matters, isn't it? So like like you're saying, you might show the face of a character, but if you don't know who that is, it still doesn't mean anything to you. I actually shared a picture from Horizon Forbidden West, and it was when you first encounter I can't remember what it's called.
Yeah.
I haven't played it for so long.
Yeah,
I
know
walking,
exactly.
the futuristic walking machine.
The Spectres.
Spectre is the name. And one of the people was dead in the snow there. And I took I did it deliberately as this ambiguous shot, so you could see that there was someone there in the white suit on the floor. And someone replied to me going, "Oh yeah, nice one, way to spoil the game for me." And I was like, I think you're misinterpreting what this is here. So they thought it was Tilda, which it wasn't. And it wasn't deliberately trying to go, "Oh, you think this is Tilda." It was you can't tell who this is, and it was just meant to be an intro, like, "Oh, I wonder what that is." But yeah, someone took it quite badly, actually. And I was like, no. Okay, well, you wait and see, and then tell me if I was doing something wrong there.
Yeah, but that's... There is something to be said about, oh, this isn't a spoiler. You're spoiling it by saying this isn't a spoiler. Not in your case. That's it's
the confirm or deny type thing.
Yeah. Something that I was. Yeah, no, I can't. Sorry, I was going to. Yeah, sorry about
anything.
that. Yeah, it wasn't a spoiler, but yeah, it's
I know what you mean though, because if it's like saying, do you remember there was an old PS3 advert with that, what was he called? The fake CEO guy. And there was the guy who rings up, "I heard PlayStation's going to go down to $2.99, confirm or deny." And
the guy was always with the blue shirt.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
And the guy was ringing him up saying, "Confirm or deny this." But they can't confirm it because that's saying it's true. And you can't deny anything because then that, by process of elimination, you can work out what's not true and leave, therefore, what is true. So the only real approach is the frustrating no comment. So
but I don't like. It's so different with VP because I get it. Like, I'm a social media junkie. I get it. The thing about like getting okay, so I will be the first to share XYZ, and this will get a ton of whatever. Like, someone, I remember when Ratchet and Clank came out, it was like a month after release. Insomniac retweeted the last fight.
So that,
Okay, not the last fight, but a portrait of Emperor Nefarious.
yeah.
Just a portrait, and someone in the comments was like raging about it. Like raging, like it was a month after release, and they were raging about it. And I remember that Aaron commented on that. So it's clearly not soon enough to do that, to do those types of things.
But then the
Because
developer
one
thought it was.
person- Yeah,
So
yeah,
it's tricky. And actually, you mentioned on Santa Monica's Discord, because they put out an announcement on there, didn't they, saying that we won't be, we don't want any spoilery content until
yep.
the 9th of December. So that's
Yep.
1 month post-release. So that seems to be maybe accepted by the studios. That
Okay,
a month is enough.
That changed because now we have a specific channel called God of War spoilers.
Spoiler section.
And
yeah.
then we have God of War discussion about the preview. So if you want to go zero on the game,
Yeah.
you can be safe on the Discord. We will delete your comment if it's something about the preview and ask you to send that comment to that specific channel. So if you want to be safe, you just don't open that channel, and that's completely okay. And it's been it's been really fun to do that, actually, to look at what people say, and yeah, that's been really, really fun.
Yeah. So, well, but that's... So after a month, then that's allowed in the general channels as well, I presume? Or
I
are they
think
still
so,
going
yeah.
to keep it isolated?
I think we haven't discussed about it, actually. We didn't make a game plan, a long-term game plan like that. Like, we have several game plans for several things. But about that specifically, when is it safe to comment on spoilers everywhere?
Yeah.
But I think based on my experience, I think it will be longer than a month.
Yeah. I mean,
We will
in
probably.
truth,
So you have the God of War Ragnarok, and you have the God of War spoilers. So
Yeah.
you will probably be God of War Ragnarok will be most likely talking about like gameplay, advice, anything, and story bits will most likely be God of War spoilers. But this is just me speculating.
I forgot what I was going to say then.
So 1 month.
1 month. We've
Sorry.
done the month. Yeah, I mean, to an extent, I always think, because you can't really set a date, because not everybody's going to buy the game at launch. So you're assuming, it's 1 month later, but you might not be able to afford the game for a month or anything like that. So I guess the ones who are really going to be most upset about the spoilers are the ones who are really keen to play it, and you expect them probably to play it as early as possible
At launch.
So
Yeah.
I think that's why this 1 month period maybe seems acceptable. Certainly 9 years. I mean, anyone who doesn't know the ending of The Last of Us by now isn't that bothered about the ending of The Last of Us.
Yeah.
I
I mean, I can't remember the studio. It wasn't PlayStation. It was probably a indie. But they made a Twitter announcement on the date that it was okay to talk about spoilers.
Okay.
And it was about a month. Yeah, I can't remember the game. Was it Sifu? But Sifu doesn't have that many spoilers. I can't remember the game, but I will research it and try to find it. But yeah, game developers know that people want to discuss and want to share content.
Well, that's the other thing, isn't it? You do want to then start sharing it with other people who do know it and see it, and you're like, come on, I want to talk about this now.
I would love to so future episode probably. I would love to have an episode about virtual photographers are the only ones that can't make content promoting a game that isn't released yet. So if you are a fine artist, you can create art. Yeah. If you are a YouTuber, you can make theory videos. You can make breakdowns. But as a virtual photographer, you will only make content if the photo mode is available, when the photo mode is available, and if not, it's really, really hard for you to do it. Yeah, I would love to go on that because we want to share our picture, we want to share our point of view of the game, but we can't. Which is super interesting.
You see a lot of people sort of returning to now that the sequels of games with photo modes, going back to the game, the original game in the series, so God of War 2018 or A Plague Tale, Innocence. Was it the first one was called Innocence, wasn't it?
The first one is Innocent, this one is Requiem.
This one's Requiem, yeah. And people revisit those in anticipation, don't they? Knowing full well that the new game may look hopefully better, possibly totally different, we'll have all new characters.
We all so not all of us only post to get interactions from the studios, but it's always a nice thing that when you get a like, when you get a retweet, when you get whatever from a game studio. Very rarely do you see studios like scroll down Santa Monica's? They didn't retweet a single photo mode for the last month, maybe, from the 2018 game, because they are promoting the future. So, but they do retweet a lot of fan art, a lot of video theories. They do that, but photo modes, we are like, we can go back and replay the game and try to hype up our own communities, our followers, but most likely you won't get many of the studio like accounts. You will get developers of that studio commenting or liking, the individuals, but you won't get that many like studios that do that. I think Asobo were one of the only studios that would share and like and whatever the content from Innocence. That's a horrible game for a game. Like I always remember connect Hellblade Senua's Sacrifice to A Plague Tale Innocence because they are long names that say absolutely nothing about the game.
Yeah, there's been quite a few games recently that have a colon in them because it's like series and sort of episode almost.
Yeah, like I admire Control. Control is so simple, like the name. It's like it's there. It's all everything that you need to know about that.
It works as well because it's almost kind of an abstract name, but the photo mode's pretty simple as well, so they stuck with the theme.
I'm excited. I'm excited for Alan Wake 2 because they were a studio that at first were really into virtual photography, resharing a lot of content from virtual photography, and they did a virtual photography contest with Capture Collective, I think, for the anniversary of Control. So yeah, I'm excited for what they will do in the future.
Yes, Remedy, isn't it?
Yeah.
Good. Well,
and published by 505.
Yes, it is. So that's another topic that we can do one time. There's been lots of spoilers of future topics here.
Yeah.
If we recover them. But one thing that mistakes, I guess, that people make is the difference between the developer and the publisher. Because especially when you're wanting, people are going to want to try to leverage, large followings now to get early copies of games. So you're talking about that virtual photographers never can shoot early. You might be able to if you're granted a content creator's copy, which is different to a reviewer's copy. But we will have an episode about that. But yeah, who to go to is key, and it's not the developer.
Yeah, in the future I will be able to talk about something publicly, I hope, and that is something that I learned.
It will be fun when we can talk about that.
Yeah, it will. Yeah, I hope so. I hope it will be fun. Let's see.
Yes. So anyway,
but yeah, another topic is games that we are excited.
Yeah. Okay.
For Photomode.
Yeah. Most anticipated. Yeah. Well, most anticipated is still God of War, because even when the game comes out, it will still be God of War. Because there's no photo mode yet. So
do you realize that they destroyed one of our episodes? The only episode that we had planned.
It.
No. The only episode that we had planned was the episode after the 9th, because it was about the photo mode on Ragnarok.
Yeah.
But we have no topic for that week.
Well, we're just gonna have to do Gotham Knights instead or something.
Oh, I have a good topic.
Well, there we go.
About Gotham Knights, I have a good topic.
Don't spoil it.
No. Yeah, so, and with this, I think we are over, right?
We'll leave it there. Unless you have any one favourite comment that we received that you'd like to call out. I have one that I think was my favourite comment. One
favourite comment. It will be probably
and
for... who said the thing about swearing in Portuguese? Yeah, it was Why So Ducky. The only way I fully accept Ruben cussing if he does it in his own language.
Yeah,
it won't happen.
Oh, the reply was me saying I like this rule.
It won't happen.
Okay. The comment that I enjoyed, it made me laugh. Was actually on the virtual photography community, the Twitter community, and there was a comment from Sammy. It's at It's Physics Gym, which is a Star Trek reference, which you may or may not understand. The original Star Trek, that is. I wish I had the voice for podcast. Nobody wants to hear a Londony high-pitched accent. I'll be listening tonight. Thank you for that. I hope you're listening again. But one, funny that she thinks she wouldn't have a voice for podcast, but the implication that we do have voices for podcasts. Were you aware?
Do you think you have a voice for a podcast?
Let's ask the viewers. We don't have audience. Sorry, I remember. Let us know in the comments. This does mean you've now watched right to the end of the video. But let us know in the comments who has the best voice for podcasting.
And why is it Mike? Mick. This is the first of many times that I will call you Mike instead of Mick.
Mike would be either M-I-K-E or M-I-C, like a microphone.
I'm Portuguese. I don't know. English is not my first language. Sorry.
You mentioned that.
Yeah.
And Portuguese is just not my language.
Yeah.
Any of them.
I will get you to speak Portuguese yet.
Yeah. Well, maybe some words. I won't learn the whole language. I don't think I've got the capacity for
it. Portuguese, they is I think that the start of October, like the 5th of October, would be like what we call like Portugal Day. So, or in June, there are like two big ones. But by then, I will teach you some words for you to
Okay.
say on that episode.
Okay.
So, spoiler for that episode.
I can say Andre Villas-Boas, which is just someone's name. Look at his face.
I wasn't expecting that. Actually, that guy's name is a thing. It's Villas Boas is like nice village.
Oh, is it? Okay.
So you now know.
I already
how to
know
say...
some Portuguese. There we go.
Okay, with that, let's end. So, for this second episode of Photomode Unplugged, I've been Ruben. This has been Mike. Mick. Sorry.
No.
Let's pretend this one was on purpose. And bye.